Hi everyone, Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Marcus Bagwell, Meteorologist Carson Vickroy here in the Storm Center. We've had Alex Moore, meteorologist as well. It's been a very busy day for us. A look outside from our Tyler Tower Cam. Record time of this video update for you on the app and online at KATK.com happening at about 12:40. We continue to have snow falling over our area here at this time. Let me give you another tour of our additional weather cams. This is in Longview. This is atop of the Longview News Journal. And you can notice here too that we continue to have that snow that is falling over your area as well. One more picture from our Deep East Texas area. This is going to be from downtown Nacogdoches, the top of the Fredonia Hotel. And yeah, the snow continuing to fall along with mostly some sleet and freezing rain. Not much snow there at all. We're still dealing with more of that sleet and freezing rain concern over our southern counties. Let me take you over to the live Doppler radar. And we're starting to see this back end of the precipitation start to work its way in. But as soon as we start to see that, there is still some lighter precipitation that is also ongoing back out to the west as well. You can notice that here over sections of central Texas, and that is working its way off to the east and to the northeast. So still some additional areas of precipitation will be expected. In the meantime, though, it is just still snowing very intently across the central areas. Here's a closer look. From Tyler, especially over into Longview, Henderson, back toward White House, this sleet line just continuing to meander a little bit more, and it looks like some colder air starting to move in. That's why we've seen this sleet line really drop off here over the last couple of hours. As a matter of fact, let me turn down the radar loop just to the last hour, and you'll notice the general trend here that we've had some of the sleet really begin to work its way down to our south and to the southeast. By the way, Highway 69 in Cherokee County, especially south of Rusk, is closed. And I would even say there's probably some problems too over portions of northern Cherokee County along Highway 69. Notice here the sleet and then the freezing rain still continuing across deep East Texas. That includes places like Crockett, back to near Trinity. And we're even noticing some rain beginning to mix in over deep East Texas as well. And this is where temperatures are at a pretty critical point at this time, near that freezing mark, and that's why a slight change over to some rain is possible. But even though this may change over to rain, just because the air temperature or the ground temperatures are below freezing, this will still accumulate as ice on contact with the ground level. So still a big concern even though the rain is actually falling. Let me give you a check of where we stand right now in regards to our temperatures. It is certainly still very cold, and we've actually seen our numbers drop down just a little bit more over the last, say, hour or so, especially up in our northern areas. Tyler has rebounded back into the mid-20s, and notice deep East Texas lower 30s, including a 34-degree reading in Nacogdoches. But don't let that 34 fool you. That might lead to some melting, but it's not going to be much at all. We're going to have to see a significant warm-up for any major melting to occur in our area. Again, still ice is going to be a big problem for us, and the impacts of this freezing rain generating ice problems. We've already had reports of outages around the Appleby area in Nacogdoches County. We're getting reports in Angelina County that all the trees are coated with ice, and there are even some indications that we could have ice that is about 1 to 2 inches running off of those power lines. That is a lot of weight that could occur on those power lines, and that could cause them to come down. There's been spotty reports of outages in deep East Texas, but unfortunately, I think the threat is greater, and it will become a problem as we go into the rest of today, heading into the overnight with this ice and our temperatures not getting above freezing. I'll look at FUTURECAST for you. FUTURECAST still continuing to show some sleet and snow mixture across our central and northern areas. This is our high resolution model while we get some rain mixed in with the freezing rain down in deep East Texas. So we have a ways to go in regards to this precipitation before it comes to an end. We're still under the influence of the upper level disturbance. So until that can start to pull northeast, we're still going to be left over with some areas of snow and sleet and freezing rain through the early evening. By 7 o'clock, you notice how the freezing rain really begins to pull away, and still some lingering snow showers across our central and northern areas, but this should clear out also by about 10 o'clock or so. So we are definitely going to be looking at some very cold temperatures for the rest of today. Temperatures really not going to change all that much at all with this wintry precipitation. Still maybe another 1/10 to maybe 2/10 of an inch of ice possible, mainly across our southern counties. The sleet potential remains a good bet as well in our central areas, and can't rule out maybe another 1/2 inch to nearly an inch of snow in some locations across the northern parts of our area. We're going to be looking at cloudy skies later tonight as the snow comes to an end, and by 10 o'clock most of this should be over with, but it will feel like the teens with that north wind at around 10 miles an hour over our area. So we'll continue to monitor this very closely here in the Storm Center. We want to make sure that you are staying up to date as well. Let us know what you're seeing. You can send in your photos and videos on our East Texas Storm Team app. Give us some information on what you're seeing in your neighborhood. We can relay that to the National Weather Service. The radar can tell us what's happening, but we always need that ground truth to know what is truly falling from the sky and making it to the ground level, especially when we're dealing with all three types of wintry precipitation and then the potential for some rain across our deep East Texas counties. We'll be here in the Storm Center throughout the rest of the day, staffed, and continue to have updates for you. Don't forget the governor speaking at 3 o'clock. We'll have that on air and online, and your next news at 4 o'clock on KETK. Have a good afternoon.